put the facial hair of Jesus. Jesus be on a skateboard. Jesus be like on the bus, like reading his iPad. Jesus is everywhere in Portland. Like, they just rolled that stone away from the tomb, and he was like, I'm moving to Portland. And this is where he has stayed and duplicated himself for thousands of years. Because this is the land of Jesus. He is everywhere. I don't even know that they know they look like Jesus. Because I guess you would have to go to church or look up with a book or so. But he's everywhere. He's like, I've never seen a place where dudes, everywhere I go, have like the like hair like way past the shoulder. Like way. Not like just at the shoulder, at the ear. We're talking resting on the shoulder. Got the Jesus facial hair. You know, thin, lean body, six pack. Well, I don't always see the six pack, but I can just assume it's there. And I just go, I mean, maybe that's the look of hippie, but because they have a certain look about them, they look Jesus-y. And I'm like, I wonder if they know they look like Jesus. And I'm like, I wonder if Jesus know they look like Jesus. And I'm like, this is just Jesus-y. Or is it Jesus? I think I'm going to just say Jesus. It is the land of Jesus. It is amazing. Like, everybody here, all these white dudes look like Jesus. I mean, it's safe to say that I don't look like Jesus. I mean, I'm a thick dude. And, no, it ain't me. But this Jesus is everywhere. Did I tell you guys I did my first Bait Masters group, the men's jack-off group? It went off very well. No, I was really surprised. People showed up, showed out, had a great time. Looking forward to doing it again next month. It was great. I'm so glad I'm like the first person to pull this off. You know, I didn't get the chance to do the men's room like I really wanted to do it. But I'm getting a chance to pull off a couple things that I've been really wanting to do for a while. Like the Bait Masters, and then I also have a group called Urban Med, where it's going to be a meditation group, and looking forward to trying that as well. You know, with a little bit of public speaking mixed with meditation. So we'll look forward to doing that too. But the Jack-Off group went really well. I was really shocked. I'm really stunned because people showed up and had a good time, and you know, I'm very proud of that. You know, that they don't do that here and haven't done that here, and I'm the first to do it. So it's kind of cool, kind of nice being the first. The what do you call it? The vanguard for the city. So go ahead, Omari Abbasi, do your thing, boy. You know what's funny? When I went to go see Mad Max, because I thought, you know, I kept hearing about it, and I didn't love it. I thought it was cool. I think for a typical Hollywood film, it was okay. It did the job. It served its purpose, but it was okay. While I was waiting in line, I was hearing ringtones. People's phones were ringing, and I was like, a ringtone can almost feels like it can determine the type of person you are by the ringtones you pick for your phone. Cause I kept hearing those standard, almost like T-Mobile, like standard ringtones, and I'm like, who does that? Like, who has that? Like, you have to. It's almost like you buy the phone, you turn it on, and you leave the settings at factory standard. Like, whatever the factory gives you, like, that's the ringtone you keep. And I was like, who does that? Like, and then there's like these real super hood ratchety ones, and you look around and it's like somebody's grandmama picking up the phone, and you're like, girl, seriously? Like, that's your ringtone? Like, ringtones really do define. They don't define, but they kind of definitely say something about the person, you know. Like, my ringtone is the Jetsons doorbell. Like, my text message is that, and my phone ring is that. So if you ever watch the Jetsons and hear, like, whenever someone comes to visit them, that's like my ringtone. and it's very representative of who I am, because I love cartoons. I love Hanna-Barbera. I love that whole era. I just love everything about cartoons. I used to have, and I don't have it anymore, but Niecy Nash had a ringtone, and it was like, is this your ringtone? I know this is not your ringtone. Ooh, this is a cheap ringtone. And I had that forever, and I loved it. But I can't find that anymore. But I'm a comedian, so I kind of pick things that are funny or nostalgic. But the one thing I don't do is I don't keep factory standard. And I was listening to people's ringtones today, and I was like, it just dawned on me. It's like, wow, that's so funny how people will keep the ringtone that their phone has. Like, they'll get like a ringtone with their phone, and they'll just go, that's good. That'll work. Or maybe they just like it. Maybe they could just like it. But it's just so funny to me when they pick that standard one that's like, God, there's no way I can even explain to you which one it was today. But it was one that I would say everybody knows. It's like, you remember how when car alarms first came out, it was like that most annoying car alarm that would go, woo, you remember that? Like, that whole thing. And that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of people like who have chosen that standard ass like T-Mobile like ringtone, and it's like, or that like chimes and shit. It's like, what, fantasy chimes? It's like, why you pick that? Like, what does that say? Like, why you want your phone to ring? Like, and like when I used to hear people with the classic phone ring, and I thought, oh, that was cool. I was like, I'm cool with that. I can go with that. But now when I hear it, I'm like, okay, girl, we've heard it. We get it. We understand. And when people do songs, they be like, them hoes ain't loyal, and the whole song be playing, and it's a ringtone, and I'm like, no, you're gonna have to shorten that, because I'm annoyed by your ringtone, so you need to shorten that. But doesn't it kind of say something about the person a little bit, like based on the ringtone that they choose? It kind of, I don't know, it tells me a little bit of something about the person, like if they're hood ratchety or whatever. I just kind of, I don't know, I get this feeling like, I feel like I might know where that person is coming from, or if they're a hoochie or something. I kind of just can go, listen to that cheap ass ringtone, they so ghetto. And it may not be the case, it really may not, but that is kind of what I think when I hear certain ringtones, But so I gotta tell you, this is really crazy. So obviously I used to work at this company in Chicago, and they're a pretty big Italian ceramics company. And so I used to have the worst boss ever. She was horrible. She still is horrible. She was horrible then, she's horrible now, and she'll be horrible in death. And so me and my friend Jamie, who I want to give a show on Intellect TV called Jamie Talks, and we're just cool. Like, she's amazing. She's funny, and she's just honest and real. And you just don't get people like that in your lives. You just don't find them. Real rare. So her name is Natalie, and she's really the worst person ever. She really is. Like, I've never met anybody so mean and so evil in my life. She's the worst person. Not even just the worst boss, the worst person. And so she used to wear this coat, like this fur in the winter, and it looked like coyote. It didn't look like anything expensive, and she would be like, oh my god, this coat was so expensive, I have to put it in storage. And it's like, girl, everybody puts their mink in storage for the winter. Like, that ain't nothing new. We get it. It needs to, we get that. So one day she was wearing the fur coat, and she was also wearing a shoe these shoes that made like a tap sound, but it wasn't on both shoes. It was only on one on one shoe. Like, you know how, like, if you might get a click, 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 click when you walk down the hall, because we had tile in our entire office because we made tile. So she would walk in this one pair of shoe that would make one click. So instead of going click, 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 it would just go click, 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 click. And so one day me and Jamie was like, what's wrong with her tap shoes? Like, it only got one tap? And so, being an inside joke, we would just laugh and we would make up things and just make this clown because she's so evil. And so she said it sounds like she's got like a tap on a peg leg. And at that point, we were just in tears, like thinking it was so funny. So we all of a sudden start calling her Peggy. You know, a good nickname for having a woman with a peg leg. So her name is Peggy. And so, so all I can tell you is that it was just, I don't know, it was just so funny to me. It was just like, we call her Peggy. So she's pregnant now, and so I've been calling her Rosemary's baby. And so, like, it's just been this thing. It's been me and JB been going back and forth, laughing about, you know, Rosemary's baby and her child is the spawn of Satan, blah, 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 that she was going to bear the Antichrist. Just joking, just total jokes, nothing serious. So she had a baby shower on Friday at work, at their job where I used to work. And so the people that I know were debating whether or not they were going to go. And I said, well, if you guys are going to go, let me give you a few gift ideas. And so I gave them like this list. I was like, okay, you can go, you can buy her, I said, okay, so if you're going to go, here's a few gift ideas. I was like, you can get her an upside down cross from Tiffany's. You can get her a baby goat. I said you can get her an air conditioner for the child. I said you could get her a $200 gift certificate to Hot Topics, because you know they sell all that satanic stuff. And so I just went on about all these few things, this list or whatever that I said they could get. Well, there's this lady at the job who is a gossip, who's a known gossip. Like, you don't tell her anything. Like, if you don't really want people to know anything about anything, the one thing you do is you don't tell this one lady, because she's a gossip. Like, everybody knows it. So I don't know what happened, but one of our friends in the email group decided to I don't know. She just decided. I don't know. She just decided to tell the gossip and showed her the email about the list of items that she should get her satanic child. And I was like, why would you do that? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, why would you do that? So I was just baffled. I was stunned. And then the gossip didn't keep it. No, even though her best friend was the one who showed her, and she was the one that I was emailing, I would have never thought she would have shown her that, because we all know she's a gossip. Well, she showed her, and then the gossip went and showed Peggy's assistant. And I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be joking me. I mean, I don't work there anymore, so I don't care. But I'm just like, why would people do that? Like, it's obviously a horrible joke, but it becomes a horrible joke going wrong the moment that the person we're talking about finds out that, you know, that I said it. And of course I don't mean it. I mean, I'm just funny. And like, my sense of humor is really horrible. It's twisted. It's always twisted. It's always going to be horrible. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do really nice, kind comedy. I'm a sarcastic asshole, and so everything I say comes out really horribly wrong. So my feelings are, the last thing you're going to want to do is show the person that or even anybody close to her, because all this could go so wrong. And I was like, And I was sitting there going like, oh, it's just a joke. And when someone's gonna read that, they're not gonna